Hello everyone, and welcome back to another episode here on the Hermitcraft Mesified server, and I'm pumped to be in our base again. I'm going to be working on this, maybe some other things as well, I don't know what the plan is, but I've been busy and we got something we need to do at the beginning of this episode, which is finish up this little bit of wall over here, sort of finish up this room in general actually, just tidy up a few of these bits where the transitions are, and then this is kind of good to go. I'm actually really happy and settled with this. However, floor in the middle, this bit over here on the side and that bit there may change in the future. Anyway, what I've been doing is moving all of the items out of our chests and sorting them into chests over here. So now we've got a few more things to use. That's the wrong one. We've got loads of junk items in there. We've got building blocks in this one. And, you know, I've moved things around. We still have a whole bunch of chests right here, but they're nowhere near as bad as they were before. So we'll be finding a new home for all of these items and clearing up this little bit of space because we want to put in our secret entrance door here so that we can get into the garden. Now at the moment the garden doesn't really have too much of a use, but I found one for it. What we're going to do in this garden is look down at the ground like this, then we're going to look up in the air, then we're going to throw an ender pearl, and then we're going to tap spacebar like that really quickly, and we're flying, we're off! Hooray, let's go over to the Guardian farm. No, we're going to turn around and, oh, I'm not high enough to get back into our little water bit. Well, we'll throw an ender pearl to get in there. There we go. Problem solved. So yes, we've got a little bit of an elytra launcher. Now, as you saw there, its range is not really going to take us anywhere, is it? So it's a bit of a novelty, but it was something that Impulse showed off in one of his videos. If I remember to, I'll put a link in the description box down below. It's a little bit of a tutorial for an elytra launcher. The idea is that we got some string up there, and of course we can hit that string with an ender pearl, so we can basically not even see it, and just walk over here, look up, and then, you know, off you go. So now this garden has a little bit of a use, because at the moment, what is it? Just a bunch of overgrown greenery. And I tell you what this could do with a few flower pots, just like we did over on that side. I really like them. Maybe we'll put a few over here as well. But anyway, this place now has a little bit of a purpose, and I think the first thing that we should do is move these chests and then sort out this secret entrance. We got a visitor. He was staring at the wall. He was admiring the woodwork. How did you get in here, guy? Wow, you got a kick-ass bow. We've got to take him out of our bow, not our swords. Hey, he's on fire. Come on, there we go. See you later. Yeah, did that guy like literally spawn there? It shouldn't be spawnable. What's the light level? 11? I have no idea how he got in here. Oh, apparently it's 0 here. Is that because I'm standing? Yes, because I'm standing on a half slab. Well, it took some time to move those chests, and this thing isn't going to look so good. We're going to have a gap here, and the pistons are going to sort of be visible from back here. I don't think there's going to be an easy way to wire it up, and we need to control it from two sides. So maybe this isn't the way to go. And also to wire it, we have to remove some blocks up here. So that would mean reworking this side. So I think we should knock this one on the head. I've also considered that if we were to swap it around the other direction, then we would see like the sticky pistons here on this side. This is not really how I wanted to do things. Let's put those blocks back. And that I don't think looks so bad. That'll be part of that right there. Maybe a button on the side will activate it. So the next thing we'll try is that. See if we can make it work facing the other way. If not, we'll have to scratch our heads and come up with something else. So I've been at this for about half an hour. And I've been thinking back to earlier in the season when I said that having, you know, little nooks and crannies to do redstone in would be fun. It's not. What I'm going to show you sort of looks obvious, but it takes you such a long time to get there, and there's been many ways I've been looking at approaching this door, and I think I've finally found the way that we're going to do it. So we're going to have a double piston extender at the bottom, which is what we've got down here, and one at the top, and this is actually powered by default, so it's in this open state, but that's not quite how we're going to use it, you see. We want to be able to activate this from either side, so that means that we need to have a redstone wire here that can power our redstone down below from either side. So let's press that again, and there you go. So what it actually does is it opens first, and then a moment later it's going to close. So what you saw was the opening function, and it gets closed from blocks up above. So over here, the redstone goes down here, so when it activates that piston, it's going to push this away, and this is no longer powered, which is what you see there. So then the next step is to have something on a delay, then push blocks from above, because this is push them up when they're closed, like that. And then what we want to do is a moment later, after we've walked through, is push them down from above. See this guy? He is reincarnated, or something along those lines. There was one of these wandering around here that had escaped, so I killed it. And then about 10 minutes later, there is just another one wandering around here again. I don't know how they're escaping, but they're making their way up these stairs. And anyway, check out this room. So we've got a little something to fill up that gap. It looks good. It sort of fits with what's going on over here. However, none of this is really final. I'm going to tweak it as I go along. And also this right here I'm not too keen on. And this is done as well. And this is actually our first test run. So let's just treat it like normal. We go through. By the way, all of this is going to be raised up by one block. And as you saw there, it closed. So let's watch the animation. Excellent. It will give you plenty of time to go through on this side as well. So our door isn't going to have like another little bit here. It's just going to be an obvious way to get through. So I have had to tweak a few things. And how are we going to go look at the redstone? I think we're going to have to go up here. One of the things that I've done is added a 4-tick pulse over here so that this bit can be a little bit faster, the input, because otherwise it was 13 ticks or whatever the duration of the button was. And then as well as that, it also, the redstone makes its way up here, and this is just a delay so that this bit fires a little bit later. And I think I'd like to extend the delay, but until I know what I'm doing up here, you know, I'm not really going to mess with this too much, as we might need this space for other things, and it will need rewiring. But that's kind of it. That's kind of it right there. I think it's working. So redstone's all good, and this room, again, minor little developments up here. I am thinking about just bringing that the whole way across to this side, so it'll be like one big square above the room, and then the staircase can dip down the other side. But, you know, all of the little nooks and crannies are getting sorted out, it's all looking good, and we got this over on this side to go to the drop down below. Still need to work on the drop so it looks a little bit nicer, and I think this is from where I was working on it, that it's been broken temporarily. Yikes, it looks like I might have broken some of the redstone somewhere as well. Let's do that again. Yeah, I've definitely broken something. And then that's going to happen. I'll fix that in a moment. And then this is what the area out here looks like. So I probably need to maybe add a couple of path blocks would look good here. Just add a few bits of grass as well. Just sort of bring you into this area. That's really nice actually. And a couple of torches as well. So yeah, it's all come together. What we're going to do next though is a little bit of a time lapse. Because I've been reading my comments and there's been some terrific ideas from you guys about the roof. One of them is to put brown carpet on the top of that, which I don't think would look too good. The other one is to put redstone on top of it, which would obviously look a lot worse. However, the redstone is only really going to be visible from up here, so it might not be a bad idea to try that. Let's actually grab both of those things first and see which one looks okay. So, thinking in pros and cons, we can instant mine redstone. We've also got a lot more of it as well, so let's head up there. We've got, you know, stacks upon stacks of blocks of redstone. The brown wool is going to take longer to farm and longer to mine up if we change our mind about this as well. Oh, it's actually in my hotbar. Well, that's clever. The place I want to put this first of all is just over the edge because you'll be able to see that. You'll see it on the edges from down below. As I'm placing it, I'm thinking it's not so bad, but it is definitely a different colour. And when you see this thing from up above, it's going to feel like a different colour. The problem there being that, you know, when you see it from up above with redstone, it's also just going to have all of that. Wouldn't it be great if string would be a really good one to block mobs spawning because you can barely see it. And yeah, it'd be something like that. So from down here, oh, you can kind of see it where it connects. Oh, I don't like either of those. I really don't. To be fair, the brown isn't looking so bad on this bit at the front, but I imagine further at the back there it will look pretty poor as well. I'm going to have to scratch my head over this one. I can't make up my mind. So what do I think? Well, I kinda hate both of them. This makes the roof look muddy from up here. This just looks like a mess. From down below though, from this sort of angle, the red does pop out. Probably wouldn't look so bad on that roof though. And over on this side, it actually looks pretty acceptable from down below. And even when you can sort of see further up, you only just see a little bit of that colour on top of the blocks. So you kind of get away with it. So I've got to think about how often it is you actually see it from up here, because then it looks just awful in my opinion. But it looks like brown carpets may just be the way. However, I've then been looking over in this direction and I'm thinking, well, what colour is going to work for these two roofs? Maybe I should have considered just lighting it up with some end rods or something like that. So any ideas you've got, put them in the comment box down below. We don't have to rush into getting this fixed. We'll take our time and I'm sure eventually we'll find a solution we like. So next up on the list, we got a job to do. And this is for the passive mob farm. There are some chickens in the spawn chunks, which means nothing's spawning in our farm. So we're going to take care of this. And to do that, we're going to need a whole bunch of cobble, believe it or not. That was odd. Took some damage. And the cobblestone itself has come from the passive mob farm as well. So I was just looking up information about chickens and making sure I knew what I was going to be doing here. And I learnt a couple of interesting things, which is cool. Do I have my elytra on? I do. I can press spacebar to get down quicker, right? Yep, there it is. Will that kill me? No. Good. That was a risk worth taking, I think. Probably not if I had died. So, what we've got to do now is actually find the chickens. Ah, this is the way that we go. Yeah, this place is a bit of a maze if you don't know your way around. And these guys are the culprit of us not having any mobs spawning in our farm. So there is a passive mob cap in the game. I don't know what the number is, but I think there's over 80 chickens here, and that means it's very likely that these are the reason nothing is spawning. Now, what we're going to do is replace all of these chickens with some named ones, and when a mob is named, it no longer contributes to the mob cap, and I've expressed this before, and I've had some comments from people who didn't quite understand that just because this mob is persistent and it doesn't despawn, doesn't therefore mean that it's not in the mob cap. It's a case of that's how passive mobs work, right? They don't despawn. As soon as you name it though, it excludes it from the mob cap. So all of these are contributing towards that. And what they're doing here, by the way, is laying eggs because Tango needs to shoot some items through a nether portal. It's actually like all the way down there, but we won't break any blocks here in case I break anything. And yeah, that keeps the Iron Titan loaded, because of course we're in the spawn chunks. If you didn't know, there's a big old iron farm right here. And what we got to do is kill these chickens and then replace them with ones that are named. Now that bit I think is going to be relatively easy. We've got a whole bunch of eggs right here and a few more there. We're going to use this lever. We're going to chuck a egg down there, and when it hatches we're then going to name that mob with a name tag. So I've got to go and rename them. Then we will let that mob down into the area below and then repeat the process. So I'll be here for a while. I got to do this 64 times. That might not be enough eggs, you know. I got to get prepared. But then we have this problem of the baby chickens taking a while to grow up. So I was reading on the wiki, and apparently it takes chickens 5 to 10 minutes to lay an egg. Now the last time I checked up on that info was a long time ago, and they always used to lay their eggs exactly on 5 minutes. So that's something that's changed that I thought I'd mention in case you didn't know as well. And they also take 20 minutes to grow from an adult, or sorry, from a baby into an adult. It doesn't grow the other way around, does it? And if you give them some seeds, apparently each seed will reduce the breeding time by 10%. So I thought, well, I'll grab a couple stacks of that. I might go grab a couple more. We feed them a few bits of seeds each, and we increase the whole process. But anyway, while we're doing that, there's a good chance that these eggs might run out. So what I've brought with me is cobblestone from the passive mob farm. And what we're going to do is craft this stuff into half slabs. We're going to have some hoppers that point into the chain over here that leads to that dispenser, and then that means that we'll be able to top this off. Now I've just realized that there's some redstone in the way, so maybe there's like a block or two here that I can break and use this, but basically we'll just have, you know, hoppers pointing into it, and then a chest, and actually this looks like the spot right here. There you go, and then we can put our slabs inside of this chest. So I've got to make a crafting bench to make the slabs. Let's do that quickly, and that will keep the thing running. So anyway, just a couple more preparations to do, and then we can get going. I believe that we are now ready to go, and one of the things I'd like to do is actually collect some more of those eggs from those chickens, because there are absolutely tons of them here. Oh yeah, that's right, that's full up. Let's put them in here temporarily. And we haven't used any of the slabs out of here yet. They're pointing in, ready to go. These have been filled up, but the eggs are taking priority, which they won't be doing for too long because we're about to remove these chickens. But I thought, do you know what? They should have a nice little home to be in. And you can barely see... What? You can barely see the home. And I think I might correct that, actually. I think along this side we need a little bit of a view into the inside. I've given them a little 4x4 area to hang out in. And what we'll do is connect these hoppers up to the chain over there. So now they've got a nice little area to rest in. I know, I'm just being goofy. Anyway, this right here we can flick to open it up and close. So we can drop all of them in there and we can rename them. I've also got the seeds so we can make them grow up a little bit quicker. And, oh yeah, Iron Chick. They're going to be called the Iron Chicks. Now, I could have renamed these individually, actually. Look at how many XP levels I got as well. That would be perfect for that. But, you know what, if I was streaming or something like that, that would be a perfect thing to do. But I'm not right now, so we'll pass up on that one. They're all going to have the same name. You know, if that didn't make sense, if I'm streaming, I can ask the stream for names, right? Yeah, I think that makes sense. I want to keep some of these eggs behind as well, because we need to hatch them. Alright, so, chicks, you've done a fantastic job so far, and this next bit is really cruel. I do apologise in advance, but we got to take these guys out now, and to do that I've brought with me a lava bucket. There we go. And there's going to be loads of cooked food there to hold on to. Or not. Wait, did the cooked food go below because I just emptied that hopper? No, there was no cooked food. Wow, the lava must have just destroyed it instantly. Okay, I didn't expect that to happen. I was, you know, leaving the lava in there for too long, basically. Oh, well, right, let's start this process. Well, this is both good and bad. I've summoned 4 of them at once. Very rare chance. I think it's actually something like 1 in 16. And when you throw an egg, there'll be 4 of them. And that's what's happened. Now, that's okay, but they've all grouped up into the corner, which means I can't guarantee that they will all be name tagged. And this is the part of the job that I don't really like. Oh, I can't even hit them. We've got to go a little bit lower. Oh, no! That's why they're there! Get out of it! So I've decided to scrap the seeds part of this because it feels like a needless step that slows you down, and I'm getting into a bit of a groove there. It's taking me some time, but we're about halfway there, and I've had a couple of 4 of them spawning at once, and I've actually been able to rename all of them successfully. You do have to do it very carefully though, so that's possible as well. So this thing's going a lot faster than I expected, actually. We're like halfway there pretty much now, and we need to go check on our slabs. There we go, one more. In you go, Iron Chick, number, I don't know because I wasn't counting. But the name tags are counting for us, if that makes sense. And also hook this up as well. There's no adults yet. Oh no, there is. Look, we've got a couple of adults hanging out in there. They'll be laying eggs real soon. That's awesome. And how are we doing on our slabs? We're down to this amount, but we've also got all of that in there as well. And then in the next few, so we should be okay. Okay, we're looking good. We've got a family of chickens over here laying eggs. And this thing has been fluctuating a little bit actually, but those eggs are holding up in that hopper, which means we're not using any of the slabs behind it and that we're actually producing enough right now. And if you look at how many chickens there are here, I'd say there's at least 10 that are babies, so maybe we don't even need all of them, but we're going to definitely have more than enough, which is good. I think we're going to take these slabs back, and what I'm going to do is chuck in some of these eggs that have been left behind, and then we're good to go, I reckon. So now when I leave the spawn chunks, you know, the chickens are still going to be growing. We've got a little bit of a buffer here just in case, but as they grow up, they will start laying eggs and everything will be okay. I looked down with a touch of disappointment. I came over here ready to say moment of truth, and then I sort of looked down and I went, they should be spawning by now, right? Oh, wait a minute. Oh, other people are online. Okay. Assume it'd be foolish. I gotta wait until no one else is online, right? Because otherwise there's passive mobs elsewhere as well. So I logged on no more than a minute ago and didn't have OBS running. What a dummy. Should have seen my face though, not this face, my actual face. I was smiling because I looked around, I felt disappointed. I was like, oh, you know, there's nothing here. And then I heard it, a sheep was barring and all was good. And let's have a look down the end here. You can see that we've got, is it 2 sheep, a horse and a chicken on the top floor over here. That's fantastic. We've been logged in for about a minute. I'm now the only person online. I've been waiting all day for this moment. And if we go down below a little bit, let's see if there's anything on the second floor. There's a sheep right there. Let's make a little ledge for us to peer into the farm from. That's no good right there. So what are we up to? Like 6 mobs? 7? Is there any more in the distance? I'm not sure. And then down here we've got a chicken. That's 8. So about 8 mobs in total for me being online for a minute. Now I don't know if they're good rates or not, but I'm anticipating that my buddy Nembom MC will get back to me and probably let me know. I'm assuming he's watching this video. He'll probably let me know what to expect. But that's not bad at all, because then what we're going to do is flush the water out and you know, send all the mobs to the Nether. Now we've also got a desert off in that direction, and there may be bunnies in it, which means they're contributing to the mob cap. But this is an incredibly positive sign. I mean, even this thing runs slow, we are getting mobs for free, right? So it's all good in my eyes. What we're not going to do this episode is fire it up, because once we fire it up, there's going to be a whole bunch of mayhem. We've got to light up these portals. There's going to be tons of these guys in the Nether. We need to sort out something over there, and we need to do some redstoning. So this may be our project for the next episode. However, the next one might be when we update to 1.10. As of right now, I've been recording the last like 3 or 4 episodes before going to Download Festival, and when this video goes up, I'll be back from Download Festival. So it's all been a bit crazy, and yeah, I've been doing lots of videos, as you may have seen on the channel, the Do You Know Minecraft episodes, 30 secret facts and changes in 1.10. It's been a long day, by the way. It's the evening for me now. And by the way, there were like a couple of inadequacies in that video, which means mistakes, basically, or things that are out of line. Let's actually have a quick look over here and see if there's any bunnies in this area, because that's a lot closer, isn't it? Plus, if this is a desert, they would actually spawn here, right? This is just a beach. I'll have to confirm if they spawn on beaches, but if it was a desert here, then they would actually be able to spawn here. But I don't see any, so that's good. They're not contributing to the cap. And anyway, what I was saying is there was a couple of like little mistakes in that video, like with the nether wart blocks. Some of you pointed out to me that they were, or what I said in the video was incorrect, and that's just because I had to record it in pre-release 1, and then I sort of like checked over things in pre-release 2, and everything seemed okay, and then on final release, you know, I missed 1 or 2 things. So yeah, that's sort of what's been going on with me. And by the way, the next episode may not actually be to do the passive mob farm, because 1.10, it's going to be here, going to be updating the server real soon. Going to wait until I get back though. Don't want to have any problems, and you know, me not be around to fix and help out and stuff. And the entire time we've been recording this clip, it's been gloomy and rainy. But it's all good, because we got passive mobs in our farm. Let's go down there one more time. We're not done just yet. Oh no. So I had a look around, and there were actually a few more mobs spawning, which was really nice to see. So the rates are slow, but they're slowly ticking up in their numbers. So we're all set to have a passive mob farm on the server. It's going to be amazing. Going to decorate this place, going to do lots of cool and fancy stuff, and then have all the benefits of lots of food, lots of wool, and lots of horses as well for travelling fast, although we've got the elytra. Anyway, that's it from me this episode of Hermitcraft. If you have enjoyed it, leave a like. As always, thank you so much for your support, and I'll see you in the next episode. Bye-bye.